being smart conversationally is not about the topics you choose. It's about how you engage with the topics you're given. An intelligent person, and you'll know this, by the way, if you're a fan of Slavoj Žižek, because Slavoj Žižek will talk about anything, but he'll talk about it in a smart way. Any subject, any bit of pop culture or media, he'll talk about it. He'll engage with basically any subject, and it'll come across as intelligent because it's not about the subject. What's that old quote? It's like low intelligence people talk about other people, mid intelligence people talk about events, high intelligence people talk about ideas. Bullshit. Low IQ saying. You can engage intelligently and dedicatedly with literally any subject. Your only limitations here are like, well, what are you interested in? You know, what do you care to engage with? And I strongly encourage you guys to think of it in that way because it'll make you a lot more open to listening to what other people have to say. I believe it was Nancy Reagan who said that. It would be someone like her. It's a statement of what people generally talk about. People should feel free to talk about anything that they want in a social setting. Because for me, the friends that I develop, shared interests are important, but so much of it is like, how do you deliver those interests? I mean, look at this community right here. 7,000 people are watching right now, and you guys watch a personality-driven politics live streamer. I'd be willing to bet the majority of you share far more in common with me in terms of our beliefs, perceptions, and interests than I would with any random group of people. But does that mean we're all friends or could be friends if we met interpersonally? The God's honest truth is no. And the reason for that is because the kicker on whether we could become friends really isn't whether you're a leftist or gay or into video games or whatever. It's really about your interpersonal style, the way you communicate, the way you handle social situations. And once you understand that, you start focusing on what really matters when you talk to other people, which is the basics of likability and the basics of how do I find people who engage me in that way. And once you've gotten better at socializing with other people, you can start doing more advanced stuff. Not just socializing with whoever you can share a room with, but rather thinking long term. What kind of friend circle do I want to build? What kinds of friends do I want to spend time with? I've said this before and I'll say it again. I strongly encourage, if you're looking to make friends, I encourage you guys to be direct and forthcoming. Okay? We're not high schoolers anymore. Well, some of you are, but I'm not. The friend zoning thing, it's over. We're done with that, okay? If you have feelings for a person, either in a romance, sexual, or like just friendship way, you should be straightforward. If there's somebody that you like spending time with, exchange numbers with them or socials or whatever you kids do these days, and then make an effort to talk with them again. I'm one of those guys who will have a date with somebody and then text them while driving home saying I had a good time. Some people say this is desperate. I don't fucking care. That's what I want to say at that moment. And frankly, it's never let me down. I've never regretted being that person. It's never while driving. No, not while driving. I mean, like very soon after. Focus on the important part here. The point that I'm getting at is that I have never regretted being the kind of person who's upfront like that. It has literally never let me down. So I encourage you to do the same because, you know, you're really not losing anything being forthcoming. And do you really want to wait hand and foot on somebody who may be your friend in the future but would reject you now if you were upfront about wanting to be friends with them? Like, think about that. Like, what do you think the odds are on that working out in your favor? You know, oh, we seem to like each other's company, but if I proposition them as a friend now, then they might be put off. So I want to wait on maybe in the future being friends with somebody who spends time with me, but would reject me if I said I wanted to. Like, what is this? Be upfront, be forthcoming. There's no harm, really. If consequences are faced, those are only the consequences of honesty between people, which you're going to have to reconcile with one way or the other. Trying to socialize with other people is inevitably a process that will sometimes make you upset. That's how people are, you know. You should front those feelings. Don't run from them. Don't be terrified of how people feel. Also, people are a lot more accepting than you might think, okay? You guys have to understand, I am far more handsome and far more wealthy and far more social right now than I was 4 years ago, but I had no trouble with people back in college either. And you know why? It's because I was as autistically forthcoming with how I felt back then as I am now. I swear to God. I swear to God, there are baddies out there. There are hot chicks with the hair and the fat titties who will be positively impressed. I mean, they'll get a positive impression from just someone who's willing to be forthcoming enough that they can just directly indicate interest. I swear to God, it's a crazy world out there. I mean this, all right? Just focus on the important stuff. I wish being autistically forthcoming didn't get me bullied and shunned. Flying Ice Wizard, are you in high school? I don't think being forthcoming tends to get people bullied and shunned in college. High school can be rough because sometimes people are just going to be mean for the sake of being mean because they're in that. It's just that time. It's the environment, you know. But if you're past that point, you're still getting bullied. I don't even know what that looks like exactly. Do you get bullied? As a 28-year-old man, nah, college was fine. I'm just being a doomer. Flying Ice Wizard, you're a college graduate, and your sorry ass posted in chat, if only being myself didn't get me bullied. Yeah, I got my eye on you. There's no way that attitude is conducive to forming good social relationships. Hey, listen, you're all making fun, but you do the same shit. Nah. Flying Ice Wizard gets to be the class demonstration here, but the rest of you do the exact same shit. You motherfuckers, even the ones who are in college or have graduated, still sit there thinking, can I really socialize with this person? What about that one time in my junior year of high school? I know that you do this stuff because I know that you people are dumb, all right? As an autistic person, being upfront and able to expound on my special interests has been a net positive for me. The social group I have now is the best it's ever been. It gets better every time. Nice, Brewmastercraft. I'm really happy to hear that. Dating is stupid and a waste of time. But then what about the holes? Your advice segments always make me feel much more put together as a person. My disability makes it hard for me to leave the house, but emotionally I'm good. I'm happy to hear that. And by the way, you can have a perfectly fun and engaging social life with a disability or not leaving the house that much. When I say getting outside or leaving the house, what I really mean is like doing stuff outside of like neat behavior. It's possible even with limited mobility to still, you know, facilitate a good social life. Advice to peeps who are hesitant to approach girls, just remember some of them actually want to be approached and talked to. They didn't come to the bar for nothing. Okay, but also one other thing. Even if somebody privately in their own mind doesn't want to be approached, you're not doing anything wrong for striking up a conversation with somebody. Just keep that in mind. I mean, obviously, if they have like earbuds in and they're at the gym and you're like, oh, hey, like whatever, just understand, even if they don't want to and you learn later that they didn't enjoy talking to you, you're not doing anything wrong by just trying to, you know, strike up a conversation. That's fine. That's just humanity. If they don't want anyone to come up and talk to them, that they shouldn't be at a social space. That may seem a bit taboo in some left spaces because like a lot of girls say like, I'm tired of guys approaching me or whatever. But if you're at like an event, like a playing card, like Magic the Gathering thing, or like a hiking group or whatever, they're literally and explicitly going to that event for the social element. That's what I'm talking about. If a person's at a gym, they could just be there to work out, you know? If a person's working, whatever, if they're just outside doing something, they might not want to socialize. You know, probably shouldn't bother those people unless you have a good reason to believe that they want to be bothered. But if you're going to a social event that everyone's going to socialize, then it's okay to talk to them. Just give people outs and you're fine. Don't be weird and you're fine. Oh, and by don't be weird, I don't mean don't be autistic. You can be autistic. Just don't be like creepy or overbearing and so on and so forth. Yes, go in with no expectations. That's critical. You don't want to walk away from a social event where you spent 2 or 3 hours like pleasantly conversing with people and walk away feeling bad because you didn't like get like a number or make a close friend or whatever. Don't do that. Enjoy the interactions for what they are, and if you keep at that, you'll get better at them, and it'll work out. It will. Exchange numbers with the woman who wants me to teach her how to drive stick shift. No expectations, but they do want to catch a movie and make a day of it also. All right, Bad Dragon Love 69. No expectations, but woman wants you to teach her how to drive stick and catch a movie and spend the day with you. All right. Okay. No expectations, you know. I'm just saying I wouldn't not bring a condom with me. Good luck, okay? I'm rooting for you.